What up, everyone? Welcome back to the G-Lew Show, Friday night interviews. Tonight we got a special guest, the homie, comedian, artist, rapper. He does it all, man. But he's here to share his story, talk about what he has going on. The homie has an incredible testimony. We're here Friday night on a Halloween night. Friday night interviews. It is a G-Lew Show produced by DD Hairston. Let's go.
As I jot this down, I keep it simple. I'm a complex man, but my effects causes ripples. It's hard to watch my tongue and stay level-headed, especially for the ones I love. I'm so offensive. I ask for forgiveness in moments of shortcoming. Need to stay relaxed when my mind starts running. Got a lot going on upstairs. I'm so controlling. I gotta learn patience when I get the ball rolling. Amends I be making for my past transgressions. I love y'all, believe me. Your pops isn't easy. Got it from my parents. I'm breaking the cycle now, teaching my baby style. No need to take a bath. Did this a while ago. Try or you never know. Give it to God and watch how your family grow. Familia, this my masterpiece. My way to say I appreciate everything. And with a stroke of a pen, I could paint you a vision of a man who had no spine and worldly ambition, multiple addictions, mental friction. The cupboard was bare and nothing in the kitchen. But listen, I'm a man on a mission. Get the spitting, I'm all in. It ain't no quitting. Brazilian there working on recovery. My hood is fatherly. Yeshua's property. All the hostility give me. I want it gone. Enemy strong. He making me buckle. How the heck I move on?
How you guys doing? My name is Willy Ramirez.
All right.
A little bit about me and my family. My mom's from Mexico and my dad's from Uruguay. All right? All the Germans migrated out that way. That's why I look white. I was laughing for that.
Friday night interviews, and tonight, like I said, we got a very special guest. He's here without any further ado. The homie Willy Ramirez Jr. in the building. What up, homeboy?
What up? What up? Man, thank you for having me, man. Very, very grateful, man. I haven't had an interview in a long time, and I said I wasn't gonna do one until it was time, you know. And today it seemed like the right time. So, man, happy Halloween. You know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful thing, man. Glad to have you here tonight. Let me see. There's the homie right there. Okay, there we go.
Yes,
on Halloween, everyone, happy Halloween. You know what I mean? Respectfully. What up, Big Willy? How you doing, brother?
Man, you know, just staying out the way, man. Staying out the way. You know, still trying to, trying to build, man. Still trying to build, working and building. That's it, man. You? How you doing?
Man, I'm good, homie. I'm blessed. No complaints over here. You know what I mean? Just blessed, homie, and trying to make it. You know what I mean?
Yep. Definitely understand that.
Hey, man, why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself, man? You know, as you see, you're a comedian when you stand up.
Huh?
I say I know you're working over there, but there's a lot of background. Because anyway, we could roll some windows up or go to a.
Yeah. I mean, you want me? If you get, I get in the car.
Okay. Yeah.
Get in the car, man. I'm out in the street, man. That's cool. Yeah, let me do that. I'm sorry.
It's all love.
Yeah. Man, everybody over here got them exhausts, bro.
It's all love, homie. We just want to make sure the people hear you, man. Well,
yeah. Man, how's that? Is that better?
Let me see. Yeah, that's better.
That's better?
That's better.
All right, cool, man. I'll try and get it where I can see. You can see me, man. Probably gonna see a silhouette, but I'm sorry about that, man. Just so a little bit about me, man. Well, man, I was born in 1971, man, to my mom, my dad, Wilson and Aurelia Ramirez, man. I'm from Dover, New Jersey originally. I'm really a nomad because I lived everywhere in the country, damn near. My major chunk of living was in California. Moved out there about 19, and I was infatuated with the gang life and stuff, man. I was really looking for love. I mean, the whole looking for love story and stuff. I got myself in a lot of trouble, man. I could have been off to been in the pen a long time ago, but by God's grace, man, he didn't give that. He didn't shoot that my way. But I dealt with a
Right.
lot of mental issues because drug abuse and stuff like that. So I was still locked up, but it was in my head.
Right. Right.
And a lot of sabotage, a lot of I had a lot of good things going for me, man. I just kept on just not behaving like a man, not disciplined, and kept on falling short, man. But I've been married. We got married in 2000, married in 96. So that's 26 years, almost, well,
Right,
30
yes,
years together, 26 married.
okay. Beautiful
Yeah.
thing. Beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. She's kept me grounded. Even though I'm like the biggest child in the house. We got 10 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. Yup.
That's
10
that's
kids, man. Yeah, it's always a blessing, man. I've had a lot of good things happen for me, man, but a lot of times men tend to not feel like they got enough, man. Really, you have everything you need at the house. And I've learned to understand that now. I'm at a point in my life where like I'm doing comedy and I gave up acting for now because of the shoots and ladders that you go through, the ups and the downs. Well, we was already going through the ups and the downs, and with the headshots and auditions and going here and going there and the depression, and that's what I was going through, and the anxiety and stuff, and it got to the point where I was just like, COVID hit, COVID changed everything. At the time, we was living in Atlanta because we couldn't afford California. This was 2018, 2019,
right.
and we just couldn't afford it. So we moved out to Atlanta to kind of like make our bones over there, and everything was going all right. I was getting into the rooms, building myself up. I had got a job over there, which is the job I do now in Casa Grande, Arizona.
Right.
And COVID hit and changed everything, man, because I wouldn't go with everybody else. Everybody else was going one way, and I chose not to go that way. I didn't believe in it. I'm pretty sure you can imagine what I'm talking about. And it just was hard times, man, because they wasn't gonna let you in the studios. The managers and the agents didn't want to deal with you if you didn't, follow the directions of what was going on at the time with the government. So I kind of got 86. I got 86. I lost my manager. I lost my agent. And it was just out there for myself, man. It's like, it was more about, oh, you like him? You like that president? Oh, you like that president? Or, it was just more like, I just never seen so much weirdness in my life, man. It just really took me back. So, I just was kind of in limbo for a long time, man.
Right.
And so I just had to work, man, dealing with depression and stuff like that, and trying to always get out of it, and, dealing with it and trying to fight with it and stuff. And, so I'm here now, man. I started doing comedy just to get out there and release, kind of tell some jokes and still do what I got to do. I feel like comedy, you can still kind of, it's almost like whatever, like, like music. I was doing music, but it take money to make money. And it takes money to get in the studio and stuff like that. And even though I was doing it real grassroots, real shoelace type budget, I mean, I did as much as I could, and, it's on Spotify, and I pushed it as best I could. But, you really need some bread to do that. Comedy don't really need bread. You just got to show up and kind of like, just tell jokes, and you're going to fall on your face, and you got to pay. That's a whole nother thing. Like, it's not like, people ain't going to laugh at your jokes, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they don't know you.
Right. Yeah.
So you really just got to tough it out, man. And, people tell me I had one dummy a friend of mine, but he was like telling me, you suck at it, man. Just stick to acting and rapping. I was like, man, you could have told me that in the DM or could have called me.
Right.
He blew it up. He blew it up in the comment. I just was like, I was like, I'm going to keep doing it, man. I ain't going to stop. It's just because you don't like the jokes, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that goes for anybody, man. Don't worry about what other people say. They shoot you down in a heartbeat. And it could have been the devil just in his spirit, just telling you can't. And I was so upset, man. But I was just like, you know what? whatever, dog. You know what I mean? I'm just going just keep on doing what I'm doing because he ain't nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes down to it, and
Right.
you know what I mean? So that's really what I've been going through in a nutshell, man. Honestly, man, just trying to keep my head above water, man. I'm grateful. Me and my sons work together, so we're able to have like a pretty solid income. And we still gotta, we don't nickel and dime it, but at the same time, like we're not hungry. And
Right.
if we need gas, we get gas. We need to fix the car, we figure it out. We all together, It's unfortunate what's going on in this world, man. I remember when I got to Georgia, the rent was 1,200 compared to if we would have stayed in California, the rent was 2,250 for a 900 square foot apartment, and we
Right.
had 5 people. And
Right.
then we was able to get a little house in a small little town for 1,200. But then when COVID hit, they gave us about 2 3 years, and then they jacked it up to 1,800. I'm like, I ain't paying for that. So we
Right.
was
Right.
homeless for a while, but we chose to be like that. So like for like 6 months, we was in the car. Me and my
Wow.
son, yeah, me and my son was just working, and we had everybody in the car, man. And we try to stay disciplined, but it's just hard, man. Like to really just eat, like you know what I mean, like to save money and really try and do it. It was only me and him. My other son wasn't even in the mix yet. He was still going to school online.
Right.
I didn't even let my kids go to school. My kids, I told them y'all ain't going to school because it was telling me he had to take a shot to be a junior, some kind of malaria. I was like, man, you ain't taking that shot, man. They're already tripping off the COVID shot. You just forget it. We doing online. He missed all his football. He never got to play ball again. So
Wow.
I'm kind of running. I'm kind of like running and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? It's just like I had a lot to say. I just didn't know.
No, no, no.
It was
Nah, you're good, but
yeah,
let me back, brother. You got an incredible like testimony, bro. And it's like to see you here, you know what I mean, still spirits high, you know what I mean, laughing, smiling, and you've been through so much, bro. Like to have such a huge family is a lot, you know what I mean? But for you to go
yeah.
through it all ups and downs and still keep it together, bro, you have an incredible testimony, bro. And I just
Thank you,
wanna,
bro.
man, I just want to salute you, man, for keeping your spirits up because we live in a world where, homie, like so many people go through that stuff and it still keep your family together, strong and uplifted. Some
Yeah,
people just say fuck it, homie, and just whatever they do, you know what I mean. But you kept it together,
yeah,
kept it together, and you're still going, bro. You know what I mean. So
yeah.
you have to be saluted for that, bro. You know what I mean. You have to have a
Thank
strong
you, bro.
family back, wife, your kids. You know what I mean. For you guys all to just stay strong and keep it together, man. I commend you on that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. I thought about it. I thought about leaving plenty of times. Me and my daughter ain't seeing eye to eye right now. She was my ride or die, and we just don't see eye to eye right now, man. I'm annoying to her, and that's real though. That's like, dang, dad, give me some space. I'm like, but I love you. You know what I'm saying? It's like she's like, yeah, but get off me. I'm just like, dang, what the hell do I do now? She growing. And it's
Right,
like, damn, now I have to. And I remember how my mom was like that. And I was like, and I keep telling myself, I ain't gonna be like that. I gotta do me because she's gonna have to do her. If I just focus on my children, I ain't gonna have no life. And
right,
I'm gonna be lost, eventually. And I don't want that to happen, And sometimes me and my wife don't hit. Once you get to a certain age, like me and my wife are, it's not like we bear with each other, but there's sometimes you gotta pick and choose your fights, man. You can't. My wife is the director of the house, and I gotta be okay with that.
right,
She
right,
she is the captain of the ship. I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna be all that because all that yelling and stuff, man, don't do nothing. All it do is scare them.
right,
And even if you have a point, it doesn't do nothing. So a lot like I think Bill Burr said, men can be angry and men can be fine, and that's it. Like we could be angry, we could be fine. That's it. We don't have nothing else, man. We just have to, because we have to, man. We have to swallow so much, man. And I feel like it's hard for us to unpack it because when people hear us, we can almost feel like we're just over it, like we're just exhausting people. Like no one wants to hear us, man. Just do better, get to it.
right.
And it's hard, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to cry, you want to be like, man, someone listen to me. But after a while, you don't even want to talk to nobody no more. You're just like, man, I gotta figure this out myself, man.
Right, right. What's your relationship like with God, man? Are you spiritual? Do you talk to God about some of these things? You know what I mean?
I do. I do. I'm more spiritual, but I'm not. I used to be in the church. I haven't been. I just had an issue with the people of it.
Right,
Tithing was one of them.
right,
I was struggling with that. I was struggling with people and just I've never been good with people telling me what to do, man. So that's another thing too, like having to bow down with that stuff. I always took it like, man, he's trying to tell me what to do, and or sometimes man will tell you the direction you need to have, and you're just like, man, you just sometimes not open enough to what they're trying to tell you, you know.
right, right. No, I get
And
that. I get that. I get that. But
yeah,
also you don't have to like rely, you know what I mean, you don't even have to, it's not about man, it's about God. So you don't have to always think it's about, going to church or having like you said, the preacher or whoever in the church trying to talk down to you or tell you what to do or how to live, because they're just a man as well. You know what I mean? Just got to have that personal relationship
yeah,
with God. You don't got to worry about the church. That's cool too,
mhm,
but just that personal relationship with God is good, bro. You know what I mean?
yeah. And I agree with you, and I think that's where I've been lately, man. I don't want to. I'm like, because as it is, I've had like, okay, I know people say I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian, but the followers of Christ were disciples.
Right, right,
So are we disciples or am I a Christian? Because I'm a disciple.
right.
I'm a disciple of Christ. You know, because John and Peter and all them were disciples. So how come we call Christians? That's another thing. That's for a whole nother thing. But I just stepped away, and I know that I deal with drinking and drugs, and I haven't done that stuff. I've had some drinks, but at the same time, it's like I haven't gone heavy with like any major heavy drugs. But I know if I do that, everything's gone. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in huge trouble. And
Right.
like I said, man, I'm not. I try to focus my best, man, on what I got to do, man. I don't like going to work, but I go. You know what I'm saying? Who does like to go to work, or who has a job that they like? You know what I'm saying? My job ain't bad, but it's it's not what I want to do.
Well,
So
again, life. We all deal with life, and life is something that it's a crazy ride, homie. You know what I mean? It's going to take you up and
it
down like
is.
a coaster. You know what I mean? But like you said, work things, some things we don't like to do, but we got to do them. You know what I mean? But the good
Yeah,
thing is that you have things that you do like, which is your comedy. You know what I mean? Which is your
yeah,
music. You know what I mean? So those are things that you can focus on, even though you still got to work, but you can focus on these things that hopefully, you know what I mean, there's a blessing for you, bro. You know what I mean? And one day you can do what you love, homie, and get paid for it, bro. You know what I mean? You just got
yep.
to keep faith and keep working and don't give up
That's
on your
it.
dreams. Never give up on your dreams, bro. Never. You know what I mean? Because as long as you got
Yeah,
breath in your, you know what I mean, God will make a way for it. So that's why I say, even again with God, homie, it ain't about being religious or going to church or any of that. Just keep that personal relationship with God, because He's there all the time. You can talk to Him anytime. You don't got to go to church to do that, homie. And you got to worry about someone talking down on you or judging you, homie. Just deal
yeah.
with Him, homie. You know what I mean? That's my advice. You know what I mean? But
No, I
when I,
feel you. Yep.
yeah, yeah. But check this out. I want to talk about the things you do, like we talked about your comedy, and talk about a little bit about your resume, homie, even with your acting that you're not doing anymore. Talk about some of the projects that you've done.
Oh, okay. When I first started out, man, one of my biggest ones was I did uh what was that one, man? I did NCIS LA with L Cool J. Well, L Cool J is like my favorite actor, so I met him. I was real excited to see him, and then I saw one of the wrestlers. I can't remember his name now, but them two were on the show with me. I did Mayans, did about
Right,
3-4 seasons with that, and that was fun, man. Unfortunately, that ended, and that was I still had that during COVID, but they, just that was like I wasn't booking anything else, but that was something I still had because they were still filming that.
right,
Um, I've done Rush Hour, the TV version, not the movie version with Chris Tucker.
Right.
I did I did Shameless. Shameless was a fun one, man. I really liked that one. I got to audition in front of William H. Macy, and man, he was really I was sick that day. I had caught the flu. This was before COVID. I had
Right.
got sick, and I was in LA, and I went and I did my scene, and he was like, "Man, very good." And I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." As soon as I got out and I got in the car, my manager told me, "You booked it." And I was like, "Dang!" So I was excited for that, man, because Shameless was a really good show, man. I really liked that. I did Lucifer. I did an independent film, which I really thought was gonna take off a little bit more. The budget wasn't really there, but I liked the overall story called Kilroy, which is about the Mexican mafia member who became
That's
a disciple of Christ.
hold up, and that's why I wanted to get to, right? Because that's where I first got introduced to you, bro. And I was close with the
Yeah.
homies who were involved with that project as well. But that's where I
Uh-huh.
first was introduced to you, bro. And that
Right.
was an amazing movie. I agree. It was just the budget wasn't there to be what it could, because that was such an
Yeah.
important in a story. But I still think you did a great job, bro. And that's when I first
Thanks,
got
man.
introduced. I remember I went and bought the movie online to watch it. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
first got introduced to you, brother. You know what I mean? And I think you did an amazing job on that. But I agree. I think it could have been much bigger, but I understand the budget and how it was put together. But
Yeah,
that was
bro.
a story that needed to be told, bro. And you did a great job, homie.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I had caught a little bit of slack, but I knew ultimately I was doing it for the right reason. I didn't get paid for it. I
Right,
didn't ask to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't making no residuals off it. It was a story about redemption, and I know a lot of this stuff was already told. Some people said, well, it don't have to be retold, but I mean, I was like, I said, I just have faith in God, man. That's the only reason. If they, hopefully, I don't ever have to talk to anybody about it. But if I do, I just, like I said, I had someone call me a while back, like, yo, the homies get at you. I'm like, for what? Like, what did I do wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like, it
right,
was it wasn't touchy, but I felt kind of like, well, I knew that was probably going to happen. I just put my faith in God and just said, look, man, hopefully they don't feel like some kind of way, man, because it wasn't like American Me or
right,
anything for any falsifications and stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
so
right,
it was a touchy subject, man, but I was like, I'll do it because it's a Christian-based film. If it was any other thing besides that, like a worldly film, I wouldn't have done it.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I probably would have said, nah, I can't. But because I was Christian, I was like, okay, cool. Because I mean, they do a lot of Christian movies. It's so much when you talk about like, the upper guys and what
right.
they've gone through, what their history is. It's a very touchy subject. And like I said, all respects to them. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I just wish it would have been a better budget, but
Right.
it is what it is, man.
How did you feel about that? Because, like you said, that movie, I could even hear in your voice that it was a little, touchy. And initially, when you agreed to do that project, did you get like did they explain to you, you know what I mean, what it was going to be, and also did they explain to you that you might get some pushback from homies, you know what I mean, because you already had like American Me and all the controversy and all this, and even though it's
Yeah.
not similar, it is similar a little bit, but the direction
Mhm.
was going. So how did you feel about filming that movie and when it was done?
Man, like I said, I felt good about it overall because I knew in my heart I wasn't doing it for any evil reason. I wasn't trying to tell a fake story or have the audience go in blind with something that's like not even truth. You know what I mean? So I
Right,
knew like it was his story about what he went through, and it kind of touched on what they was ultimately about, but overall what he was trying to get out of, what he felt, what he was lost in his drug addiction and stuff like that, and not he had no soul left. So I felt good about that. That's what kept me strong because I talked to him, Roy, and he was a good dude, and he prayed over me a lot. We talked, we had some good conversations, man. But ultimately, he said not to worry. He would tell me not to worry and stuff like that. I was like, all right, man, that's cool. I appreciate it. But like I said, it was a faith-based film. So I think overall, in my heart, I felt like I'm gonna be okay.
Right. And so I was
You
gonna
know?
ask you, did you get to meet? So you did get to meet him and speak because I know he passed away, but you did get
Yeah.
to him. So he consulted on the film with you, or was he in any part of it, or did you just? What was his role
Well,
in as far as overseeing it?
well, the bad part. See, I don't want to. I don't know if I want to talk too much about that, man.
Say what you want.
It,
No, say what you
I
feel.
felt. I just felt like. I felt like his role was limited. I felt like they got his approval and
Right.
they went with it. And it
Okay.
was and then once and at first I mean I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But then once I started thinking about it, I said, man, he because he wanted to see it. He wanted to see more, you know what I'm saying? And he might have, who knows? He might have said, nah, I'm not feeling that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Um and so that's kind of like where I'm at with it. I just wish it would have been more. Ah man, how can I say it, man? I mean, it's like about a movie about my life. I would want to be hands on with it. I wouldn't want no one to say, "Hey, man, we want to do a movie about you. How you feel?" Yeah, we'll just sign on the dotted line, and then we'll show it to you, and then they never talk to you about it.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there was some issues there, man, but it wasn't anything that had to do with me. But I did feel kind of bad. I'm like, well, dang, I am part of it, but I had nothing to do with it. That's the the people who were making the movie. That's their issue.
Do you think when they made the movie again? Because I know a couple people involved with the project, as well. Do you think like I don't know how that was put together? Was it far as the budget and who put it together? Do you think what do you think could have been done differently as far as that? Because I know they had good intentions, but what do you think could have been done better, or how was it done? The budgets, like who was behind it, like what was that whole thing about that we weren't able to get what we wanted to get or you wanted to get out of the movie? Because I agree. I really had high hopes even when it was being filmed and I heard
Yeah,
about it. I knew the story. I had high hopes as well, and I was really anticipating to see the movie. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
I agree. Not put anything down about it, but I just like I agree with you that it could have been I don't want to say better because I know they did the best they could, but just far I guess the budget wise and how it was put
yeah.
together could have been better.
I just think overall, like, it was young directors, young producers. You know what I'm saying? And I think they had an idea of what a good movie would be,
Right.
and they just like, even just like the clothing, the
Right.
60s, the 70s, the 80s, the cars, the this, the that. I know a lot of stuff we cheated, but then there's a lot of stuff that looks where you can tell, like, that wasn't back then, this was not now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to make sure all those things are good, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying overall is, like, you don't have to take a lot of money, but you have to know that in order for you to make a good quality movie that's original, with, like, just like how they did American Me, and they did everything, the OD, the bombas, and the right clothing and everything like that. Everything's got to be on point,
Right. Right. Right.
and I think that's what they lacked on that. I think they were just too eager to get
To
it out there,
get it out. Yeah, I
and
agree.
they thought they had an idea. That this is gonna be a good movie. I know what a movie is, and I
Right.
think that's their inexperience. They could have done better. They could have done better with just maybe waiting a little bit. And like I said, consulting with the right people and them getting their consent. Like, I'm feeling that. I'm not feeling that. I don't think they wanted to hear no. I don't
Right.
think they wanted to hear, like, you know what? That's a nice scene, but you need to change that. That's not the clothes we used to wear back then, or that's not how we talk. Stuff like that. You know
I
what I'm saying?
yeah, and I agree. And like the homie Spank said, the homie Joe, like I said, we know a couple of the people behind that project, and they're good people. But I think just for a movie of that magnitude and what people would expect, like you said, maybe it,
Yeah.
it could just been even if you patiently wait till you get a bigger budget or more people involved in it, that could have brought it um, into fruition the way it should have been. Maybe that could have
Yeah.
been the case. But you live and you learn, and I know they probably learned from that experience as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just know a lot of people anticipated in me as well because we know that story and we seen Kilroy, and we're talking about the movie Kilroy for the people who are
Right.
Ask, which was an independent film. You guys can go check it out. It's out there still. So I just want to touch on that a little bit. I had a question from the chat. My boy Spanx asked, let me see. Okay, he said, what did Wilson think of the movie High Power from Real Homicide?
I haven't seen it yet. I've seen the trailer, and just like you and me just talked about, man, to make a full-length feature, and it dates back to even the 90s. Everything's got to be on point, from the cars to where to everything's got to be on point, man. Because it's not it shows flashbacks of that time, and so you want to be on point with all that. So all I can say is, like, when I see it, I hope that that they got that in place, and they took a page from, I'm not going to do what they did on Kilroy there. I'm going to do it better than that. And like I said, Blood In, Blood Out and American Me are still top notch, because they everything was on point. So they couldn't say, nah, man, I'm not feeling that. No, everything, even the Impala SS coming down the streets, and then Miklo coming out and hitting the tire iron on the metal pole, and all that stuff was just on point. And all that stuff, that's what we want to see, to be like, okay, I'm fulfilled with everything that's going on with this creation. You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, the storyline's got to be dope. And hopefully, tell Spanx, I see it and I'll check it out, and hopefully I'll be constructive about it. I won't be like, oh, I was terrible, or I won't do that. You know what I mean? But I'll be constructive. I'll be constructive, of course.
Hey, do you being that you've been in projects and you've done stuff like Kilroy, but you've also talking about smaller budget films, but you've also been a part of big budget stuff. You know what I mean? Does that, moving forward, even though you're a up and coming actor or whatever you're doing, does that make you choose differently, like with your agent, when you choose projects that you want to be picked for, that you want to do, or do you just do them because it's all opportunity?
Yeah, sometimes my managers get pissed off at me, because she'll be like, you can't do these little budget movies. It's going to make you look bad. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know what, man? I need to do something. I'm not doing nothing. I had 3 auditions. They didn't, I'm trying to, stay busy. And that's a mistake that an actor makes, because they just want to do every and anything. And it's the wrong move, man. It's the wrong move, man. You know what I'm saying? Like when you first are an actor, oh, I need a manager. Oh, no, you don't. Oh, I need an agent. No, you don't. Give it time. Don't feel like I'm G-Lew management. I'm with him. No, that don't matter. That don't mean nothing, dog. Just do you. Keep doing you. Keep going to class. Keep learning. Keep striving. You find a project you like. Don't say yes right away. Make sure it's something you want to do. Don't be like, yeah, I'll do it. That's what I did, dog. And I could have got myself in a wreck. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, the whole big homies and stuff.
Right. Yeah. I get that. How important is it, bro? Like now, especially now, since things have changed, even from music to film, you know how things are more independent, or kind of like the middleman is not as much important as it is. I don't know how it is in film. I do music as well, but how important is it to have an agent or a good manager, opposed to how it was back in the day when you had to have one, opposed to now how it's a little different, how you can kind of make things happen on your own? I don't know.
Well, the only thing I can say is, and this is in my inexperience, because of TikTok and Instagram, so many popular people like that, what do they call them? Innovators? No, what do they call them? Influencers.
Influencers,
content creators are getting booked for shows and doing things that actors have been going to school for, and not taking away from the success of the influencers. But the producers and the studio heads are looking at views. They're looking at followers, and they're like, if we get him, like we get Wilson, and Wilson has 1 million followers or 500,000 followers, man, we can make this story, this movie can blow up. But there's way better actors than me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not even looking at the talent anymore. They're more looking at what You know what I mean? You can have a terrible movie and you got all these influencers in it, and you got people that will see the film. It might be terrible, but it'll gross something. Maybe they don't put much into it, but it grosses something. You know what I mean? And I think, for agent to have a good agent to pick the right things. When you start getting really good agents, I mean, they keep you busy. You'll get the right agents. But this is not the boutique agents no more. It's when you start getting up there with the big ones. You know, they're keeping you busy, man. They're putting you in, and because they got to get paid too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's important for them, just like it's important for you. And they're going to get you out there and get you to the right studios. They're going to handpick you in some spots, and that's always a great thing. So yeah, it's always important to have an agent, but like I said, don't rush it, man. Like, don't just grab the first agent you see. Make sure it's the right ones, you know. And sometimes it takes time, man.
Right. I asked you that
Yeah.
because I didn't know, because that's what happened in music pretty much. You see, like, how the music game has changed to where it's the same in music, to where it's like, you could have people who have been doing music for years, and or have or producers who
Yeah.
perfect their craft and all that, but then you got now the person who could blow up overnight. You know what I mean? On YouTube or whatever, put his video out, get 1 million views, and blow up, and now they're big. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it cuts the like A&R stuff and all that artist development, you know what I mean? And now you got people that could just come in and go overnight, who really don't have the experience, you know what I mean? But like you said,
Yeah.
it's about who has the views, or who's blowing up, who has 1 million views, or who's popping on TikTok, and that is
Yep.
taking over in the music game. So I was asking, is that what's going on in the film game as well? And it seems to
Yeah.
be.
And then they got AI now. You know what I'm saying? I think they just released the first woman
Yeah,
AI, and now you're competing with something that's not even
that's
living.
that's crazy.
You're competing with something that can cry on the spot, can laugh on the spot, can do everything and repeat it, and can do it one take. Sometimes you have to take a take or two or 5 or 10 or 20. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things when we're walking from our trailer to the studio to get into and to get prepared. We're already preparing. We're getting on point. We get to our spot. They're directing what they want us to do, and then when the time is now, they're gonna call action, and if we don't do it right, we do it again, and then we have to do the front view, and then the back view, and then the side view, and you know what I mean, and you have to be on point every single time, where AI don't have to do that. That's why the actors were fighting to not have that. They're taking everything away from us when it comes to that. And I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
People don't care, man. They don't care. Everything's crazy nowadays, bro.
It really is. And that AI stuff is scary. I understand it on one end, that the amazing stuff AI can do for us, helping and creating stuff. But when it comes to stuff like that, where, like you said, it's coming into the music or the act, you know what I mean? Because people are going to lose jobs, and then people believe in this fantasy, you know what I mean? And me not taking anything from AI, because I don't understand it fully, but it's just something I'm just like, I'm a little bit like, I don't know about that, bro. And then, like you said, you got into music now. They can create almost perfect songs, recreate songs, and it's almost like a little scary. You listen to it like, wow, you know what I'm saying? But I'm one
It is.
that, even if it sounds good, it has to be something behind it. Like, it has to be, if I'm liking this song or this video or this creation that they made, what is behind it? If there's not a real person behind it, it's kind of hard for me to believe, like, really, put my, you know what I mean? Even if it sounds
Yeah.
good, okay, it's not real though. You know what I mean?
Is it demonic?
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's just creepy to know. It's creepy to think, man. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, even I don't use Chat GPX. I don't
Yeah,
use that thing. My
me neither.
friend swears by it. My friend
Yeah,
swears by it. They say,
yeah.
"Oh man, he got so much of my information." Like, they actually like regurgitate something to me that relates to me now because I've given them so much information about me. I'm saying, man, good for you, bro.
Right, right.
I'd rather just write an essay myself, or know how to talk to somebody myself, or learn like we always have, you know, how to talk professionally, not have something talk to them for me, or hey, how do I talk to somebody in such a way, and they give me a whole like paragraph of how I should address somebody. I don't feel good about that.
Yeah,
I
and
know, I just don't, man.
that's the scary thing too. That now AI is taking over to where people can have a whole you can meet someone, maybe if you're not meeting them
Right.
face to face online or talking to them, it could be a whole AI, even if it's that person. The whole
Yeah.
conversation of what they're telling you is something AI gave them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it is really scary. I don't really know where I stand with that AI stuff, but at the same time, it's something that's happening and we can't do anything about. So at the same time, it's also something that we somewhat have to, I don't want to say learn or accept, but have to understand that's what's going on. Because, you know, just like with technology, how it moves so fast and things change, we have to somewhat keep up with it, or be
Yeah.
left behind and lost in this shit where we, you know what I mean? We don't know what's going on. And the kids are the perfect example, because the kids kind of keep you up on all that, because the kids
Yeah.
know all, you know, and a lot of times we don't really want to accept it. You know what I mean? But it's like it's going on regardless. So it's like, what do we do?
Yeah.
I
I'm
don't know.
telling you. So it's just like, man, it's like, oh man, like things have already died in our lifetime. You know what I mean? Like things have gone away when we was younger that's not around no more.
Right.
Everything's gotten more sophisticated. People gotten fat. People don't even have to leave their house, man. People play games, call Uber Eats. They don't
Yeah.
even have to leave. They get Amazon. They get clothed,
Yeah.
fed, and
Everything.
entertained, and they at the house the whole day. They ain't got to do nothing.
That's a
And
fact.
you know,
That's the
yeah,
only
and
thing
it's just like,
with the kid, like say the kids growing up, like what's the next generation gonna be? Because, you know, as kids, as us, we had to get outside and move and feel, touch things, learn things. That's how we learn. You know what I mean? You had to get out there and experience things. Now, like you said, people don't leave their house. The kids, everything is brought to them, or they learn, or they're on the tablet. So everything they learn is
right,
from online, opposed to being outside. Everything is given to you. You have a GPS. You know, when we were kids, we had to go wherever we found where we went. We got on our bikes.
yeah,
We moved
yeah,
on the RTD, whatever. We made our way around. You know what I mean? Now
yeah.
everything is right there at your service. So,
I
you know,
remember I had a Thomas guide, man.
makes us dependent though, because like, hey, what if the internet shuts down? You know what I mean? What are people gonna do? You know what I mean? Because we're dependent so
Mhm.
much on this stuff that we don't know anything without it. You know, we don't know phone numbers. You know, before you used to memorize
Bro,
phone numbers, grandma's,
everybody's phone numbers. Yeah,
now
yeah.
no one's number. Now, if you get locked up, homie, you gotta have your phone. You're in trouble, homie.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And this is like, the only one I know is mine and my wife's. I don't know my sons. I gotta put their name in there, and then it goes to them, but I don't know their numbers.
Right, right.
It's
That's a
crazy.
fact.
I had a Rolodex of numbers before, man.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know, but it's tough, man. I remember I had Thomas Guide. I used to drive from here to Santa Ana, and I had to like flip 2 pages because the road stopped at page 70. I had to go to page 71 and keep going because I didn't know how to get there, man. You know what I'm saying?
right,
But
right.
yeah, it just things change, things evolve, man. Just like people had the 4T and they had to crank it up, and all of a sudden they had gas power cars, and they had to worry about cranking it up no more, and
Right.
horse and carriage and all
Yeah,
this stuff. Everything's changed, man. But at the same time, man, it's like, and I think like that movie. I always talk about Shawshank Redemption when that one dude comes out, old dude, and
oh yeah,
he
yeah,
almost gets hit by the car. And he's like, everybody got in a big damn hurry. He said
yeah,
the world got in a big damn hurry. And he killed himself. He's like, this
yeah,
ain't for
yeah.
me.
Yeah, he hung himself, homie, because he couldn't deal with it. Hey, and that's a
Yeah.
and even like you said with the cars now, you know, shit is amazing what they're doing, but it's all computer generated to where not only it's making you dependent again because your regular mechanic can't work on these cars like they used to. So you have to take it. If something goes wrong, you got to take it to the dealer, right? And they're cutting out the jobs of mom and pops mechanic, people. It's just a lot, bro. I don't know what this future is gonna hold. It's
I
great,
mean, I
but
know California is out of control. I don't even know why people still live there, man. I know they're there because they're pride, but I didn't want to leave. I miss California, but I don't miss California, you know? I mean, it's so crazy out there, man. I ain't even talk about gangs. That was nothing. I'm talking
Right.
about just the taxes they putting on everybody now, man. It was like gas, like $8 now, something.
Hey, it's up there. It's up there.
Yeah,
So,
you know how much gas is over here right now? $2.89.
man, I was in
Yeah.
the. I don't know. You're in Arizona. I know you said you were in Georgia. I was in Atlanta too for a minute too, man, and as well. And like you said, it's a big difference. But they even went up, recently. But
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Atlanta's a big city, man. Atlanta's like the traffic is terrible, man. The outskirts, like the little countryside, that's cool. You can still manage, but once you start going in Atlanta,
yeah,
sheesh,
yeah.
man, the 285 and the 70, was it 75?
75,
We used to
85.
live off the 75, man, up there in Ackworth, right past the Kennesaw and Marietta.
I
We
know
used to
where
live
that's
up
at.
that way.
Yeah,
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 we used to live up there, man. So when we got there, I was like, phew, because it was more country. But
right,
man, when we had to go back to work, man, it was a haul, bro. It was just like going to LA, just traffic all day, man. So,
right,
but yeah,
right.
man,
How's Arizona treating you?
I mean, man, I mean, what can I do, man? Me and my wife were asking, you want to go to Poland? I'm like, nah, I don't want to go to Poland. She goes, what about Argentina? I said, nah, not Argentina. She goes, what about Colombia? She goes, nah, you got that cocaine problem. Yeah, forget it. Nah, not Colombia. I mean, it got so bad, we thinking about going to countries, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right,
what about Somalia? Nah, not Somalia. They still always fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we came to Arizona to help my son. I transferred my job over here, and then he leaves. So we stuck out here in Maricopa, and we had to make the best of it. I mean, I think the worst thing is when my kids are like, why we gotta be out here? I'm just like, man. Sometimes, I mean, we nomads. I wish I had the answer. I wish we could have stayed in Cali, but we
yeah,
had to go. Even Georgia was like different. You know what I'm saying? Country folk, they didn't really. They
right.
took to us because they thought I was a white boy. They're like, all right, who that white boy over there? And I'm just like, I'm Mexican. You ain't Mexican? I'm just like, yeah, nah, you look white. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here we go. So it was, and it was mostly my black coworkers and stuff. They were like, hey, who that white boy over there? And I was like, I'm Mexican.
Right, right.
So,
Man, you
and it was hard to fit in, man. Over there is a whole nother thing, man. The gang stuff over there, the YNs, all that's all. I didn't even go outside, bro. I mean, I've gotten so old. I didn't even hang out in the streets. I was like, man, it's too crazy out here. I don't know what's going on.
right, right, right. Well, let me ask you
Yeah.
this too. I know we talked about your acting, and man, you got a crazy resume with the acting. You've done a lot of great stuff, and I know, like you said,
Yeah.
now you kind of went in the comedy direction. Do you feel that the acting stuff kind of deterred you, or you were like not feeling that no more to make you go into comedy, or what was that about? It made you do that.
I think
What
I
led
was I
you to
was
do it?
getting a lot of depression, man. I was dealing with a lot of depression. Like people get happy when they got auditions. When I got an audition, I stressed out because I had to. At this time we were self taping. Right before we had the audition, go to the audition, and we had to perform in front of the casting director, and it wasn't easy sometimes, because I still didn't understand, like, this is your, like, I remember I heard I think it was Michael Keaton. He said, when I got an audition, that was my performance, and I did my performance. Whether I got it or not, that was my performance for the day, because that was the job, because they told me to come in and do it. I didn't see it like that. I saw it as something else. I still thought of it as like booking the job, but I didn't see it as like, do your performance and just go. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think George Clooney said too, like, once you do it, just leave. It is what it is. Let it die there. But it was hard, man, because I had mouths to feed, like anybody else, starving, hungry, trying to get attention, wanting to be famous or whatever. And you put too much stuff in your head and drive yourself crazy. So I was getting a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, man, just for getting auditions. And so when I would finally finish the self-tape or something, I apologized to my wife, because I was like overboard with her, telling my kids to be quiet, apologizing to them. And I just was like, man, this too much, And then when it started being like, oh, we can't you live in Arizona, Wilson, but we can't do nothing with you because you're not in LA, and LA studios only want LA actors. And in Georgia, the same thing. And in Texas, the same thing. And everywhere they have New Mexico, the same thing. So, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't getting nothing. They was booking me. They was trying to give me auditions, and I don't speak fluent Spanish, but they was trying to give me auditions to do shows like in Mexico. And I'm like, I'm not fluent. They're going to know.
Right.
Then I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's still wait, no habla así. You know, the fool don't sound like us. You know what I mean? I sound more Portuguese. So it's like, but she was Portuguese. She didn't know. I remember one time an agent was like, "You tell me what you think." I go, "I don't got to tell you nothing. You had me as a client. You should know. Even if you have to book me as a healthy, or you have to typecast me as a gangster, whatever it takes, just typecast me until you figure it out." Wait, I don't know what I'm looking for. I mean, you should know that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so it was too much, bro. And I got deterred, man. I got tired of it. You know, I didn't want to, and then with, like I said, the COVID shots, and then, people didn't like Trump, people like Biden, people don't like Biden, people don't, I got tired. It got real political, and you couldn't really say nothing on set. People talking all kinds of crap, and you couldn't really speak because that's, like I said, it was one sided. And if you, spoke on where you stood, more likely you probably wasn't gonna get much else after that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's real shit. It's real shit. I'm not a heavy Trump supporter, but I like to see the benefits of what we're trying to do as taxpayers, trying to make things happen and make things better, man. People who've been here trying to make a living and life, it's fine. What was going on with the Biden administration, with them letting people in and trying to change the debate and all that stuff, it was very frustrating. And then seeing ICE go overboard with their power, so I wavered a little bit with Trump. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm grateful for him, but at the same time, I'm like, what's he doing? And it's a whole big mess that you just can't fix, man. You can't fix the whole damn thing. Everything looks bad.
Right.
You know? And like I said,
that's a tough one too, because I know a lot of people put faith in Trump and voted him in, you know what I mean? And then, like you said, it's a lot, that's why I don't really get on too political with that stuff. But
yeah,
understand, because it was a lot of people pushing for that. And then, I don't know if he flipped the script or he's just doing what he was supposed to do.
yeah.
But no one's ever going to be happy, man, with that stuff, because it's so, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know.
deep, man. But I know comedy, I could be myself, and I can I don't have to be a tough guy. I don't,
Right.
I play tough guys in TV, and I could be the funny guy I always was. I knew one thing. I knew I made people laugh. Now, constructing a joke in comedy is not easy. So I am working on that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm taking the craft serious, just like in acting. I didn't know how to act before. I mean, I would read the lines, but I just read the lines. But once you start understanding your character and like where did I come from, and what am I looking for in this these words right now in this scene, then it starts talking to you. Then you start having this character. Then you start building this. You know what I mean? But at first, when you're just acting, the lines are just lines. But you don't. You can say a line and it's not really what it means. That you read it again and you read it again, you start understanding. Oh, this is what he means. So the same thing with comedy. It's like you may say a joke, it's not gonna hit. You have to have timing, and that's so. But I'm okay with that because it's just me. It's just me, myself, and I up there.
Right.
And if I bomb, I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I'm still a character. I know I'm still got charisma, but I'm not tripping on like, oh, I got to do an audition. Oh, I'm spazzing out. And it's too much stress, man. It just started bringing too much stress to me. I couldn't do it no more.
What
It
do
wasn't
you
fun no more, bro.
Right, I feel you, but what do you prefer? Like, because with comedy, I would think, even though comedy seems fun and it's all that, but to me, it seems like comedy is hard. I mean, I'm not a comedian, but I'm saying, because when you do comedy, especially stand up, you have to get up there and really, really like command the crowd and keep them in. Because, like you said, it could go left. If they're not feeling you, then you got to be up there and keep yourself confident, opposed to
Yeah.
maybe acting. So I don't know. What do you prefer better, even though you've done them both? What do you really
I
prefer?
just talk about myself. I have so much knowledge of stories of what I've gone through in my life that I talk about. I talk about that. I talk about living and trying to survive with my family and the headaches and the pains and the frustrations and the laughter and the crazy things that go on in my head. I try not to talk too political, and I try not to talk about things that I don't know. But I know about me, and I know I have stories, and I can build off that. So
Right, right.
people can't really tell me, "Oh, you're wrong for that." Oh, well, no, it's true. I hate my kids sometimes. They hate me. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand them sometimes, but I mean, I love them. But that's just how I go. You know what I mean? And it's okay to talk about it. But don't just make sure you know what you're talking about. That's why young comics, they have their success, they have their things they're trying to do. But I think ultimately, as a man, with the stuff that I'm going through, I prefer that right now better than
Right, right.
acting, man. Right now.
Hey, but being
Not
that you
saying I wouldn't do nothing, but I'm just, nothing's coming my way. So
right, but being that you're doing comedy now, would you consider like when you like going back to acting, but maybe doing comedy roles opposed to more serious roles, or does that matter?
yeah, it don't matter. Whatever comes, like I said, man. If it's something that's like, if I take away from, like, in other words, if I take away from my job and I'm making some bread off it, because then that's cool. But the doing the independent films and stuff, I don't know if I could do that anymore, man. I don't know if I could do those. I kind of have to have, unless I have time where I can do it and I can still get back to work and I ain't losing no money. But like if I'm losing money, I mean, it's just a part of life, man. It's a business, and I have to be compensated, and I'll put my whole heart in it regardless. But I think I'm at a point now where compensation and working at something and putting your whole heart into it, and not worrying about, because like I said, I'm a day player. I'm not a series regular. Series regular, that's your job. Day player, they need you 1099. You're contracted for a day, 2 days a week, 2 weeks, right?
Right,
But after that, you got to go back to work. You know what I'm
right, right,
saying? And they need you at work. And that was the problem in California. There was a time when I was working there, it was all temp this, temp that, temp. 'Cause they didn't hire you no more
right.
unless you knew somebody that hired you. But I was a temp all the time. And then I would take so many auditions and say like, "Hey, I can't work this day. Can I work this?" And then they would, after a while, they were like, "Hey, your assignment's done." And I'd have to get another job. And then, the good thing was I did book, so I would be able to make up for the missed money, but we didn't make no money because the money
Right,
went to all the late bills. You know what I'm saying? So I was always behind.
right, right. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. So
that's a
moving
lot.
forward, what's in the works for you, Wilson? Like what's I know you're doing comedy now, you got your music out, you've done the acting, but I know right now it's just a struggle just trying to work and keep food on the table. You know what I mean? But what's in the future for Willie that we could look forward to, or that you would like to make happen?
Well, like I said, hopefully there's an opening through. There's always openings, and I think through comedy, I got some shows coming up on the 19th November at Stand Up Live. I got a show, and that's a nice little venue. I got one on the 15th of November, and I just got booked for one on the 13th. And like I said, man, I'm learning as I'm going, and I think hopefully my goal is to have. If I hopefully I want to retire someday at my job, because my body can't hack it as much as I hate to say that. But if I can have a career and just getting booking shows, making some money, so that I can compensate. My if we still have SSI and 401k, compensate that so I can live with my wife and we can live okay. Then I'm okay with that.
Right,
Like I said, man, I'm not trying to be famous. I just want to be able to do something where I can get up in the morning and I can stretch, I can walk, I feel like I don't have to put on Bengay to get to work, and I can have a good time and be able to come home and be able to put some money in the bank so that we can still survive, man. But I mean, like I said, if acting comes back and it's something I like and it's something I could do, I'll definitely do it. I mean, I still want to do some music. I just kind of like, I did what I did. I did the grown folk music thing. I was grateful about that. I'm grateful that I took it to a place where I was like, I'm not talking about gang life. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about marriage and the struggle. I'm talking about love and the passion you need to have and the happiness you have with the family. And, and hopefully it touched some people and it made some people aware of good music out there that's just not about like what we're listening to. Even what we listened to in the 90s. I listen to that stuff now. It's cringy sometimes, man. I'm like, damn, I couldn't believe it. We listen to some music, it's crazy. But that's just because of growth, it's because I've gotten older and my ears are different. My ears are different now. I rather listen to oldies and in the 80s and R&B and keep it that way, But I still love music, but I noticed myself still going to rap like the Lords of the Underground or Crew or
Right.
90s 95 rap between 90 and 95. I listen to some people, Freestyle
Right.
Fellowship or the Knots and stuff like that. Well, I used to feel like it was just spitting. It wasn't nothing crazy. It was just spitting.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And when they talked about guns, it was just more like what I would do to you lyrically. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like, man, you know what I'm saying? Like they ready to take each other out.
Yeah, it's out of control now. You know what I mean? But I know things always change. You know what I mean with the youngsters, the generations. But like you said, it's a little different now. But I'm sure our parents said the same thing. But like I said, like you said back when we were coming up, it was more about real life
So
stories
Floyd.
and talking about stuff. You know what I mean? You witness. Opposing now, it's just about everyone just want to just kill you, or even the
Yeah.
even the R&B now is like very explicit on me.
Yeah.
So it's very different
Yeah.
now, man. I don't know.
Yeah. It's gotten wild. I remember when movies you like, people were like the guy and the girl be in the room and then the guy will close the door like, oh shoot, he gonna do something to her. Now
Right,
they show the whole damn thing. Like my wife watched Game of Thrones. I'm like, what in the world are you watching?
right,
It's
right.
always something sexual, man, and some animal position, and it's like male on male or male on. I was like, what is good? What are you watching? Like, why are they showing this? Like,
And
it doesn't make sense to me, man.
they're pushing the no disrespect
Gay
to any,
agenda.
they're pushing that heavy too, bro. I
Oh
don't
my
like
god.
either. I don't understand, especially to the kids, man. I don't.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing,
Every,
But
every superhero gay now, right? I think the
yeah,
Hulk gay. Is the Hulk gay?
yeah, they're getting out of hand with that. I don't know what that's about, but that's a whole nother thing. But it's like
It's
you
it,
said,
it's
everything is just out of kind of crazy right now, man.
it's demonic, man. I'm telling you, it's demonic. Satan runs the country, runs the world. And
Right.
whether you Democratic or Republican, people who are pushing that, we need to check. We need to check that. I mean, people are too scared to talk to uh, the people have a hard time talking to the kids, man. My child shuts me up a lot because she's like, oh, I'm not, I don't appreciate that. I don't like this. I don't like that. I said, look, man, you need to slow that down. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't matter. Back in the days, you don't talk like that. Just I don't understand. You're like, well, you know what, Dad? I don't like you in my space, and I'm just like, what is going on? So
Right.
it's like I'm trying to understand her, and I'm not trying to hurt her. I'm not trying to yell, but at the same time, it's like it's testing me. And
Yeah.
it's difficult. And I'm speaking about me. I ain't speaking about other people. I'm just speaking about me. It's like, and that's what the world is going through, man. Nobody gets checked. No one gets taught a lesson. No one gets spanked. No one gets said that's wrong. And then if your parents are wrong, then we're wrong. But I have no problem saying that. But the fact that you telling me that you might be gay or you are gay, how are you gay? Like I'm not.
Yeah.
Again,
I get
I'm
it.
not trying to, because they have their way of saying, I feel like this or something that was on TV or I don't know, man. Something changed the chemical balance of something, bro, and
Yeah. And
threw everybody off, man.
yeah.
And everybody's like, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It really has, and it's just like you said, and I agree, man, totally. And it's a sensitive subject too because it's not like now you can't even really speak on that or have your opinion because what I mean you would get ridiculed or almost punished. You know what I mean? So it's a sensitive
Yeah,
thing. But I just think that my thing is just with the kids. I don't think the kids need to be exposed to that when they are kids because I
yeah,
think kids are vulnerable and real, you know what I mean? They're what's the word? Influenced, you know, by things they see, you know. So sometimes kids can be confused about things, you know what I mean? So I just my only thing with that, you know, a grown person, if you're grown, you can do what you want to do, you know what I mean? But I just think the
Yeah.
kids don't be exposed to so much so young, but you know, that's just how it is now, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't know. That's another thing.
No, but I hear what you're saying. I think ultimately that's just what it is. I had friends over the other day, man. They was talking about the other party, and I had to keep my mouth shut because it just would have been an
Yeah,
altercation. It would have been, it was uncomfortable. And I'm like, you know what, man? I've taken stuff all my life. I'm able to morph. I'm able to like react in a way where I've been able to deal with stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Better than other people. And
right,
I let it slide, man, because I can do that. You know what I'm saying? You know what, man? There's no need for me to say nothing because
right,
it's gonna be what he said, she said, and what I feel, what you feel. It's just gonna end up bitter. You know what I'm saying?
right, right.
I just know I want to kill nobody. I don't know how the other side feels, but I know other people would. You shouldn't be living. Like,
Right.
and me, I'm like, hey man, I want everybody to coexist. But some people are like, no, I don't think you should. I'm just like, what in the world? So that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's
It is.
worrisome to me.
It is, you know, and it's just like you say, it's uncertain to what the future beholds, you know, because we're living in some different times now, you know. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. That's why I said earlier, just even with God, just have that personal relationship. It ain't about man, you know, man can't judge me or tell us anything. Just keep that personal relationship, man. But keep your faith, homie, and keep your I don't know. Just keep what you believe in strong, bro, and just
That's
push. And
it.
I think you're doing a great job for you to have a big family like the way you do, whether it's ups and downs you go through, man. But to keep that family unity strong, bro, that's a beautiful
Yep.
thing, man. I salute you on that, homie.
And you too, man. I appreciate you, man. I mean, I really wish I could do this longer, man. But I appreciate you coming at me and asking me to do this, man. It's a breath of fresh air, man. Uh I really feel like we're in tune, man, because I know you a spiritual cat, and I appreciate that, man. I really do, because I'm really trying to change. And just like that song says, man, like I sometimes I want to go at somebody, but I don't, because it's not worth it, man. It's just gonna end up sad, man. I tell you a story. One time, it was my son worked with me. He started young, right? My son has Asperger's. He's
Right,
high functioning. Well, some of the coworkers over there, um, they would mess with him, and he's emotional, would kind of take him over the top sometimes. And
right,
he told me a long time ago, man. He goes, they used to take plastic strap, where they strap the pallets, with the bottles. And
right.
the one guy wrapped it around my neck and was choking me and stuff, playing with me. But I cried, and I was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" Because I knew you was gonna do something, Dad. And man, it killed me, bro. It killed me because I was already gone from Georgia.
Right.
Right? It happened in Georgia, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do, man. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, man, why didn't you tell me, man?
Mm,
Right? But what would I have done, bro? What am I gonna do, man? Hurt that young kid, and then what? I would
right,
have been in jail, or these kids be looking for me, right?
right.
And it was so sad, and I was like, that's what he has to go through, and it was so hard to bear that, and I was so upset at myself because I mean, I don't know. You put it on yourself as a man. You put it on yourself. With nothing you could do. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So it was tough, man. It's tough trying to deal with these things, man. But you gotta persevere, and you gotta push, man. You gotta, know as spiritual people, when you connect with other people, that's a blessing, man, because you're able to talk and you guys can relate to each other. It's very hard, man, nowadays to relate with people because they don't have the same values, the same stuff that you do.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's why we just gotta try to align with people who are on that same page, because and because you can't change anyone, especially people are grown adults. People are how they are. You know what I mean? So it's only
Yeah.
thing we can try is try to reach the youth. You know what I mean? But even
Yeah.
that's a struggle. But all we can do is just keep on pushing, homie. You know what I mean? So that being said, I appreciate you, homie. I know you got to get back to
Yes.
work and all that, but we'll link again, homie. We'll put something together and try to do some more things in the future, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll do it. I'll do it way better, man. I'm sorry for the visual, but you know what I'm saying. I'll definitely make it better next time. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the people that checked it out. And
Yes,
like
sir.
I said, man, I appreciate you calling me a legend. I don't feel like I am. I just
Well,
been the kind of guy like you, man. We just been trying and trying and trying and still doing what we want to do because we see the freedom in that, you
right,
know.
right.
So keep doing what you're doing, man.
You are a legend, though, brother. You know what I mean? And don't let no one tell you different, homie. Much love and respect to you, homie. And we'll link again.
Likewise, bro.
Thank you, brother. It was amazing, homie. Thank you, bro. Much love and
All right, my
respect.
boy.
All right, homie.
See you guys
Peace.
later.
All
Take
right,
care.
peace. Yes, sir.
Peace, brother.
Hey, man. Everyone tonight, man. That was the homie Wilson Willy Ramirez, man. Great dude. Shout out to Jackie Ray Phillips, the Poetry of Justice show. If you missed that interview last week, we had go back and check it. It was classic. But shout out to the homie, man, Willy, man. Amazing interview. And like I wanted to it was so much more we could have touched on, but as you see the you know, the homie's working. He just made time for me to make that happen. You know, and I'm just glad we could. I want to give a shout out to my producer, DD. She's not here with us tonight. She's going through some family issues tonight. So everyone, please keep DD in prayer. You know what I mean? And keep all of our family in prayer. Shout out to the G-Lew Show family who attended this tonight. You know, I know it's Halloween. Kids are trick-or-treating. I don't know what people got going on, but I thank everyone who joined us tonight. Shout out to Floyd Chavez. What up, big homie? My brother Spanky, Mark in Texas, Keisha, Emily, you know what I'm saying? Big Jojo and AZ, my homie Matt. What up, Matt? Q Smooth. Anyone else I missed, man, my apologies, but thank you everyone, the grandchild, everyone who joined us tonight, man. You know, we just try to bring great conversations / interviews to you from people from different walks of life. You know what I mean? So we could get their story, because a lot of people have great stories and testimonies that have never been heard. And some of these people are legends, like this guy right here. Like I got introduced to him in the movie Kilroy, which like we talked about, I think could have been done way better. But I salute the people, because I know the people who were involved with that. Shout out to the big homie Joe. Shout out to the other homie who I haven't seen in a minute, but he's the one who initially started the round table that you see Cholo Trucker, Jen taken to the next level. But they originally started round table. They were a part of that movie. So salute to them. But I got introduced to the homie from that movie, and as you see, his resume is impeccable. He's done a lot of great things. Now he's in the comedy, he's done music. But overall, the homie is just going through life. And as we know, life can take you through ups and downs, smiles and frowns. You know what I mean? But we just keep on rolling and keep on pushing. And we just got to keep that faith and keep strong, because everyone can't take it, man. We see people recently taking their own lives. You know what I'm saying? And that's unfortunate. You know, that's very unfortunate, because God gave us life, and I know he wouldn't want that for us, you know, but I can't, you know, whatever people go through, that's their own thing, you know what I'm saying? But all we want to do, and all I want to do, is just keep pushing positivity, love. So that's all you're gonna get when you come to this channel. You ain't gonna get the shenanigans, the hate, the politicking. I ain't talking about who been on whose yard, who's good, who ain't good. That ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? We're all grown men. We all been through a lot in our lives. You know what I mean? If you like me, I've been through a lot in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm blessed to be here today. Of course, I wish it could be better. You know, I wish this channel could be way bigger, but hey, I'm thankful for what I got. I'm thankful for the solid people that I got, that I call the G-Lew Show family. So thank you all for continue to take this journey with us, and we're going to keep on pushing. It ain't going to stop. So salute to everyone tonight. Thank you for joining us. It's been a great show. Shout out to the homie Wilson Ramirez. If you miss anything, go back and check it out. Go back and check out all of our other interviews that we've done as well. And you know, we'll be back again tomorrow night. Lena Lokes will be here for R&B Soul, and we'll be back Sundays for Oldies Rule Forever. You know how we do. We got some road bumps, as you seen last week. Going through some maintenance here. You know, YouTube been tripping. There's been so much going on. The devil been attacking me, but you know, I ain't gonna stop. You know what I mean? I didn't come this far to stop now, so we're gonna keep on pushing. Much love to everyone. You guys have a blessed weekend. Love you all. God bless you all. Until the next time, it's the G-Lew Show. Shout out to our producer again, DD Hairston. and everyone else. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
As I jot this down, I keep it simple. I'm a complex man, but my effects causes ripples. It's hard to watch my tongue and stay level-headed, especially for the ones I love. I'm so offensive. I ask for forgiveness in moments of shortcoming. Need to stay relaxed when my mind starts running. Got a lot going on upstairs. I'm so controlling. I gotta learn patience when I get the ball rolling. Amends I be making for my past transgressions. I love y'all, believe me. Your pops is uneasy. Got it from my parents. I'm breaking the cycle now, teaching my baby style. No need to take a bath. Did this a while ago. Try or you never know. Give it to God and watch how your family grow. Familia, this my masterpiece. My way to say I appreciate everything. And with a stroke of a pen, I could paint you a vision of a man who had no spine and worldly ambition, multiple addictions, mental friction. The cupboard was bare and nothing in the kitchen. But listen, I'm a man on a mission. Get the spitting, I'm all in. It ain't no quitting. Brazilian and working on recovery. My hood is fatherly. Yes, it was property. All the hostility in me, I want it gone. Enemy strong. He making me buckle. How the heck I move on?